Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Allison and I make cleaning and lifestyle videos every week. Make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos. Today I'm going to be doing a car cleaning video. I really want to focus on disinfecting the car. I'm going to do kind of a whole cleaning routine and also try to teach you how to disinfect your vehicle. I kind of wanted to walk you through what the process is. I did want to show you a little bit of what you're going to need. You can kind of work with whatever you have. The first thing is just some plastic bags, and that is to toss garbage into. And I'm just using these to put whatever garbage is in my car. You want to throw away any garbage. It doesn't need to be in there because it's a lot easier to disinfect if you don't have stuff just floating around your car. So I really think you need to start by pulling out any garbage that you have and throwing them into the trash can. If you have gloves, it's probably a good idea to wear gloves right now. I don't have any gloves. There's actually kind of a shortage where I live right now, but I am going to be bringing hand sanitizer out with me, and I'm going to be using this frequently. Whenever I handle any garbage or things that might be contaminated with coronavirus, I'm going to be sure to use this on my hands so I'm not touching something and then touching my face. I do tend to touch my face a lot, so I plan on protecting myself with some hand sanitizer after I throw away whatever garbage is left. I'm going to be bringing out some all-purpose cleaner and some paper towels to wipe things down with to get kind of an initial clean. They also make car cleaners, and I have some car cleaning wipes, but they don't have the disinfectant in them. Most of them aren't disinfecting wipes, so I'm actually switching away from the car cleaning stuff to the regular cleaning stuff for now. I do also have some disinfecting wipes. If you don't have an all-purpose cleaner, this is actually a really great option. If you can get wipes, I'd really highly recommend the disinfecting wipes for your vehicle. Just make sure you check them on the surfaces so that they don't do any kind of damage. There are, depending on the brand, this is Giant Eagle brand, but there should be a list on the back of what you can and can't use it on. I know a lot of these products you cannot use on leather, so make sure if you have leather interior that you're checking the back of the bottle. They do make special cleaners for leather, so soap and water and a leather cleaner is what I would recommend if you have a leather interior for the fabric parts. And I'm also going to be finishing just with some trusty Lysol disinfectant spray, and I'll show you where I'm going to be spraying this. There's different surfaces that I really like to spray this on, including the steering wheel, any of the buttons, anything I'm touching. I really want to make sure I'm spraying with Lysol disinfectant to kill any germs that might be in my vehicle. There's also some places that people don't think about, like spraying down your floor mats because you're walking on the surfaces where people maybe have sneezed and you're bringing that into your car. So make sure you're considering things like floor mats, handles, anything for disinfecting. Yeah, and that's everything I'm going to be using. So now that I've shown you everything that I need, let's go ahead and get started and start cleaning our cars. So now I'm in my car. I'm going to kind of show you there's a lot of mess. I've been letting it sit over the winter because it's been very cold where I live. So there's a lot of garbage and clutter. And I'm just going to kind of start by picking up the clutter and dirt. And then once all the clutter is picked up, then I'm going to move on to sort of wiping and disinfecting. I'll just kind of give you a quick shot of what it looks like to start. So I picked up all the garbage, and there wasn't a ton, but there was more than I would like there to be. You can see I've got a pretty good bag of garbage, and I'm going to go ahead and Purell my hands just as a precaution, because I don't know how long that stuff has been back here. Also, if you're using Purell a lot, you also want to make sure you're using a moisturizer or a lotion afterwards, because it will dry out your hands. And if you have little cracks on your hands, you're more susceptible to viruses, so make sure if you use a lot of hand sanitizer that you are following it up with some kind of lotion. So now onto the part you're probably really here for, which is learning how to disinfect your car. There's a lot of surfaces in your car that you want to disinfect, but first I want to start by just wiping off any surfaces that just have dust and dirt. I want to get the top layer off the surface first, which is why I'm starting with just a general cleaner. It doesn't have to be Lysol brand, it can be any brand cleaner. And I'm just going to kind of spray things down really lightly. And I'm going to take a paper towel. You can also use a reusable cloth if you would rather use that. It's a little more environmental friendly, but today I'm using paper towels for the video. And I'm just going over any surface that's hard with this cleaner to make sure that is wiped down. And if your paper towel starts to get a little soaked, just switch to another towel or another rag. You really don't want to wipe a dirty one everywhere and just smear the dirt around. You're really trying to get the dirt off of the surfaces. You can use your wipes or your disinfecting spray, depending on what you have on hand, or you can use both if you really want to be on the cautious side. I'm going to show you what to do with the spray first, and then I'll probably go over everything with the wipe. The disinfectant spray, it's pretty much safe to use on plastic surfaces. You do want to stay away from leather fabrics, but regular fabrics, it's generally okay. Just test it on a small area first to make sure that you're not damaging any of the fabrics. I've never had any issues on any of the plastic surfaces in any vehicle with this. And on the back it says basically you need to leave the surface wet for 3 minutes. So you want to make sure that you're leaving the surface, you're spraying this and leaving it on for 3 minutes. If you're worried about your interior, you can wipe it down with a wet cloth after 3 minutes, just to make sure it's not staying on the surface, but I usually just leave mine on there. I've never had a problem leaving it on the surface and just letting it air dry. And you just want to spray it pretty much anywhere that's plastic, especially anywhere that you're touching, like your steering wheel. It's very important. And you want to spray enough so that the surface is wet. I'll try to show you here. You can see there's a wet spot where I've kind of sprayed the Lysol. And you want that to stay wet for 3 minutes. So make sure you're using enough to keep the area wet for that amount of time to fully disinfect. If you just lightly spray it, it will still sanitize. It's going to get things cleaner, but it's not going to kill everything. It's kind of just going to clean. It'll just kind of kill some of the stuff, but not everything if you just lightly spray it. I also will spray my fabric. Now, I don't soak them because I don't want to have any I'm always a little worried about discoloration, but I will do just a very light spray on the fabric. I kind of do like that, and just let it air dry, because I feel like that gets a little bit of a disinfecting to it. It will feel a little bit wet to the touch, but it's never been heavy, and I've never had any discoloration. And this is just a regular fabric. It's some sort of cloth. But I've never had any problems with it, so that is what I'm using. There are some surfaces that you want to make sure you're disinfecting in your car that people maybe aren't thinking about. The first things that everyone needs to think about are anything that you're touching. That's your steering wheel. That is any button that you have on your console that you're touching. You want to make sure you're disinfecting this blinker here. Also, make sure you are disinfecting your emergency brake, your shifter, and your emergency brake. You want to make sure you disinfect those as well. Another area you want to make sure you're disinfecting is your floor mats. Your shoes are going to touch surfaces when they're out and bring in germs. So you want to make sure you disinfect your floor mat if you are disinfecting your car. When I go out, I may have said it before, but I have been spraying down my shoes whenever I go somewhere. That way I'm not tracking anything in or out. I keep a bottle of this in my car, and I spray my shoes down with this whenever I have to go somewhere. That way I'm not tracking extra things into the home. I want to make sure you're also disinfecting your seat belts, because you are touching this a lot. Every time you get in and out of your car, if you fasten your seat belts, you're going to be touching this. So you want to make sure you are using disinfectant on this and the part that it clasps into. Disinfect these as well. It's very important. Also, the area you probably touch the most is your door handles. So make sure you are disinfecting those if you're going to disinfect your car. Another spot you may have not thought about is your visor. If you're touching your visor, if you don't touch this, you don't have to worry about it. But if you pull this down, you want to make sure you're disinfecting it, because if you touch it, you're putting germs on it. So make sure that is being disinfected. And if you have a garage opener, you want to make sure you're disinfecting this as well, because you touch it every time you open your garage. So try to just think about anything you're touching and make sure you wipe down those surfaces. And as I've said before, continue when you're disinfecting and wiping to use hand sanitizer, because you will be touching things. So make it part of your car cleaning routine to disinfect your hands frequently. Now, I actually do need to vacuum the inside of my car. We are on a stay-at-home order where I live, so we are not allowed to do things that are not essential. So I cannot vacuum my car right now. I have a little handheld, but it's not going to get what really needs done handled right now. Once they lift our stay-at-home order, I will go and vacuum out my car, but I just can't do it right now. If you do have a shop vac, I'd recommend vacuuming everything out you can, because those little debris and things will have germs on them. So think about trying to remove everything you can from your car to get it as clean as possible. A couple other spots you might need to disinfect, depending on whether or not you use them. That would be your overhead light. If you use your overhead light, you're touching this. So make sure you're disinfecting that. Also, there's these little handles in cars. You can see one's back here. If you hang stuff on that, you want to disinfect that as well. Generally, I'm just kind of covering every surface I can with as much disinfectant as I can, because I really want to be on the safe side. Also, Your rearview mirror you want to disinfect because you touch it. If you're realigning this, you want to make sure you're spraying it or wiping it with some kind of disinfectant. As far as the exterior of the car goes, I do not use disinfectant on the exterior of my car. I don't know if it's safe for the paint, and paint's very, very sensitive. Automotive paint is very sensitive. If you want to disinfect on the outside of your car, make sure you check with the manufacturer first. Check with the paint company, because some of these disinfectants may discolor your paint. So I err on the side of not disinfecting the outside, but the inside to me is free game as long as you don't have a leather interior. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe things down with the wipes, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. If you have automotive wipes, I would recommend after everything has sat and disinfected, going over everything with an automotive wipe, because that will help remove some of the disinfectant that's stuck on there, and it might help if there is a little discoloration. Also, if you don't have a disinfectant wipe, going over the surfaces with warm soapy water will actually help remove it once it's dried. So that might actually help limit any discoloration that you might experience. I don't think you'll have any, but if you're worried about it, an automotive wipe or some warm soapy water might help remove any discoloration. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. So thanks for coming by, and I hope you all have a beautiful day today.